Hi! It's been a while. It's literally been like 2.5 weeks since I've uploaded a YouTube video, which I've actually been really sad about because I've been so excited to sit and film this video and I've been waiting to do it for a while. So basically I was away in London, I got back, I ended up being sick, then I had quite a big craft market coming up so I had to get ready for that. Then it was my birthday, now we're here. But the benefits of me not posting is that I have accumulated quite a massive book haul because I had aimed to come on here at the end of March because I had got sent quite a few books from publishers and there was a lot of exciting things to talk about, but I never got around to it. So now we have 2 months worth of a book haul in one, which is quite exciting. I think I have like 25 books here in total. And honestly, I've been dying to put these away because I've had them just in a box in the corner of my room being like, you need to film that book haul. So we're going to do it today and then afterwards I can finally find them, their homes, on my shelf. If I have any space, because I'm not even sure if I do. But this is basically a mix of books that I've been really kindly sent from publishers. I go through periods of like not getting sent too much to then being sent quite a lot. I feel like as like an Irish bookstagrammer, I don't get quite as much mail as like the UK bloggers and stuff, but I feel like recently a lot more Irish publishing companies have reached out, which is super exciting. So the book mail has been flowing and it's great. I also have some books that my friends have kindly sent to me that they were getting rid of. I then have a birthday book haul and I have 3 books that I got sent from a secondhand Irish website, which I'll talk about a bit later on in the video. I got to work with them back in March, so I'm just going to show them off as well. So yeah, I'll try not to ramble too much, but I feel like it's best we just get straight into it. So I'm going to start with the little Irish secondhand bookshop, which was the Bookworldie. I had placed quite a few orders with them on there before. They sell so many secondhand books and like a lot of them are pretty much brand new or in really good condition and you can find some really good ones on there. I had used their website a couple of times in the last 2 years, so I was absolutely ecstatic when they reached out and asked did I want to do like a little collab with them. So they sent me out a few books of my choice. They let me pick off their website. I ended up picking 3 in exchange for me posting a little reel and talking about them a bit on my Instagram, and they also gave me a little promo code to get you 20% off your order on the website. So if you are Irish, stay tuned and I'll give you a little promo code. I'll go through the books that I got first just so we can get through them. So originally I had picked out quite a few more than this because I was going to do a little giveaway, but the owner had been out or like sick for a couple of days and when she went back the books had actually been sold. In the future I'm hoping to do a little giveaway with them, which will be super exciting. But the 3 that I picked up are firstly The Haunted, no just Haunted it's called, by Chuck. I don't even want to say his surname because I don't want to butcher it, but this is the coolest cover ever. Like this reminds me of like old Goosebump novels or something. It's giving like very 90s horror and I am here for it. So this is basically a book that's comprised of loads of short stories. I think there's 23 short stories, all just little scary horror tales packed into one book. So I feel like this will be the perfect read. I'll probably keep this to like October realistically because I do love a spooky season and I feel like books like these are perfect because you can like read them alongside your other books, like pick up one story per night kind of thing. So I'm very excited for that. It's in pretty good condition. It's got a bit of a broken spine, but I don't mind that. Like I honestly do not care what condition my secondhand books come in. So that was my first little choice. Then secondly I picked up The Searcher by Tara French. This has been on my wish list for like 2 years at least, or maybe 1.5 years, however long it's been out, and I saw that they had the large paperback and this was on their website for €3, like absolute bargain. And how cool is this cover of it? So it's a black and white edition. I've never read anything by Tara French before, but this just sounds like a really solid thriller. It's set in a little cottage in a remote Irish village, which we love. And I think it's just about somebody going missing and the man who lives here trying to solve it. So it's kind of like a murder mystery type case. I've heard quite mixed reviews about this. I feel I haven't seen anything like recently, but I'm always willing to give something a go myself, and since this was on my wish list I absolutely had to pick it up. Next up was one I hadn't actually heard of before, but again it was a large paperback and they were selling it for €3 and I was like, bargain, and how beautiful is this cover. So I basically googled the blurb, had a bit of a read about it, and I was like, that sounds like something I'd really enjoy. So it's called Just Like You and it's by Nick Hornby. It sounds like it's just kind of a light-hearted romance comedy type of vibe, just something nice and light to read in between kind of heavier reads, so I had to pick this one up. So yeah, those are the 3 books I picked up in March from Bookworldie, and if you want to have a little look around there and you want to shop on there, I'm actually not sure if they ship to the UK, but like it's worth checking out. And my discount code is just come nerd with me. I'll pop it on the screen, which is my Instagram handle, and that will just get you 20% off your next order. Next up, I'll show you some books that 2 of my pals have given me. So first up is from my friend Laura. So if you're watching this, Laura, hi. I met up with Laura at the end of March up in Dublin. We had a little books to meet up. We had met once before and flew to London for like 16 hours. So it was a very like quick and speedy and action-packed 24 hours together. So it was nice to finally get to be with her and just chat and catch up and stuff. So she actually brought me some books. She was doing a little clear out. She had 2 books that she had recommended that she had read and loved, and she was like, I'm going to give these to you because I know you're going to love them. And then otherwise I had taken the others off her because she did a massive unhaul on her Instagram story, and so I grabbed some ones that I knew I was going to like. So first up from her unhaul, I took Baby Love by Jacqueline Wilson, which is her hardback. This is the hardback version. I think this is aimed at like young adults rather than like younger than that, like children. I think it's got like a slightly older audience, but as somebody who grew up on Jacqueline Wilson, I was so intrigued and excited to pick this up, and I have had this on my wish list for the longest time. So when I saw Laura was getting rid of it, I was like, I'm more than happy to take that off of you. I'm not sure if Laura actually ended up reading it in the end, but I had said, you know, if there was any of these that she hadn't read yet, because I know she was kind of on a hauling for space, I'm more than happy to read it and send them back to her. But this is quite chunky, like for a Jacqueline Wilson book. I know I've seen a few people on books that like rereading Jacqueline Wilson when they're older and seeing how problematic some of the books are that we read when we were like young teens. So I'm interested to see what my approach as an adult would be towards Jacqueline Wilson's writing, because I know as a kid I absolutely gobbled them up. I had like the box sets and I loved them. It sounds interesting. I'm not quite sure what it's about. I was just like rereading the blurb there to refresh my memory, but it seems to be about a girl who's going through puberty, and she does something that her parents deem unforgivable and they send her away for it, and she ends up going to live with a bunch of girls, I think is what I've gathered. It doesn't really give much more than that away. I haven't heard too much about this, but I'm definitely excited to read it, and I always used to love like the illustrations and stuff in the Jacqueline Wilson books, and I see that this one is also illustrated, so buzzing for this. Next up from Laura's on haul, I took The Intimacy Experiment by Rosie Dannon. I actually have no idea what this is about, but I did read The Roommate in January, and these books are deceiving. Don't let the little cute illustrated covers deceive you, because these books are spicy. And I'm pretty sure from reading about this one is kind of sex positivity, and the last one, the guy, the love interest in it was a porn star. So I mean, that just kind of gives away how spicy they truly are. So yeah, I actually don't really know anything about this one, so let me know in the comments if you've read this, but I did really enjoy The Roommate, and I feel like it's always good to have just a little spicy romance amongst your shelves somewhere. Next up, I took The Last Time We Met by Emily Houghton. Can you see that? Again, I don't really know much about this. You'll see from like my book haul and like the books my friends have gifted me for my birthday off my wish list, I'm clearly just in a bit of a like romance era, even though at the moment all I've read for like a month solid is thrillers, but I might do another video on that. But I just feel like as like the evenings get brighter and the summer comes in and spring comes, like just romances are so nice in the summer, I feel like, whereas I feel like I definitely shift more towards thrillers and horrors in the colder, darker months. So clearly I'm stocking up on some romances, and this just looks like another cute, cheesy romance. Like, there's a recommendation from Laura Jane Williams on there, and she's one of my favourite romance authors. So again, if you've read this, like, let me know in the comments if I should pick this up soon. But I'll give it a go. It sounds fun. Then the next two books that Laura had given me were ones that she had read and she had really recommended and was like, I have these, I think you should read them, do you want me to send them to you? So I was like, okie dokie. So they're actually two hardbacks. I know nothing about these, but I've had 2 or 3 friends rave to me about this series, so that's always a good sign. So the first one is called A River Enchanted, and then this is the sequel and it's called A Fire Endless. And can we just appreciate how beautiful these covers are? Like, so stunning with the gold foiling and the letters. I'm pretty sure these are fantasy novels. It says here this one has a fast-paced mystery in it as well. Enchantments run deep in the magical Isle of Cadence. So yeah, it sounds like it's going to be a magical mystery fantasy, and I'm very excited to give it a go. And I've been so excited to put these on my shelves because I just feel like they are such stunning.
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
Siri keeps talking from my computer and it keeps frightening the absolute shit out of me. As I was saying, I can't wait to get these on my shelves because I just think they're so pretty and they're such beautiful hardbacks. So thank you so much to Laura for donating me this little pile of books. And that's the best thing about having a bunch of bookish friends, is that we all get to send each other books that we're finished reading or are on hauling, and we can do little switcheroos, and I love that. Then next up, my friend Stacey sent me 2 books that she was on hauling because she's actually moving countries, so she was downsizing her library before she moves. She had such a great collection of books, so I knew when she was doing her own haul that I would want to pick up some. She had an amazing collection of some weird and wonderful books, and I picked up 2 of them. So first up, I picked up Earthlings by Sayaka Murata. I don't want to butcher that, but I'm pretty sure this is translated fiction. I have heard great things about this author. I've heard to just go into these a bit blind and that they are absolutely bonkers. I think I have the other one, Ceremony. I have that on my Kindle, and I've not read any of this author's work yet, so I don't really know anything. I've heard people's reviews or seen people's reviews, and they have been a bit bonkers. So yeah, I love the little plushy hedgehog on the cover. It's so cute. Even though I'm a bit scared that the contents of this book are not as cute as its cover, but we will see. And then the second kind of weird and wonderful book I picked up off of Stacey was Lapvona, and this one is by Otessa Moshfi. Again, really sorry if I butchered that. This is another one that I have seen everywhere all over Bookstagram that I don't really know much about, but I messaged Stacey because I knew I wanted to take Earthlings off her because I definitely wanted to give this one a go, and I was like, I'm in 2 minds about whether this is a book that I would kind of like, and I feel like at this point Stacey knows my reading taste and knows what I like and don't like, and she was like, I'm throwing it in the parcel, you're taking it. I was like, okay great. These were my 2 little funky, weird, slightly out of my comfort zone reads that I picked up off Stacey. So thank you so much, Stacey, you're an angel. Not me running out because I remembered I had actually even more books to add to this haul than I remembered. I actually can't find one at the moment because I remembered I bought myself 2 books in the last like month or so. I feel like I've been quite restrictive of myself, which is good considering how many I've accumulated when I've not even been buying books. But one of them I did pick up when I was in Dublin with Laura, and that was Ghost, written by Ronald Malfi, but I don't know where I've put it right now. Also, if you can hear like chitter chatter and stuff in the background, that's just my family. There's nothing I can do about that today. But the other book that I did pick up for myself was Never Never by Colleen Hoover. I've seen quite mixed reviews about this since it came out. I am not like an absolute huge Colleen Hoover fan. I've read books I've enjoyed and I've read some I didn't like too much, but I'm kind of just indifferent because I know she's quite a controversial author sometimes. I just know that I find her writing easy to read and I enjoy it sometimes, so I picked this one up because it was quite cheap and it's one of her newer books, and she has wrote it with Tarrant Fisher, who I've never heard of before, so I just wanted to give that a go. So yeah, on to my next pile of books. I've somehow been really kindly sent all of these by publishers in the last 2 months, and I honestly have to pinch myself sometimes when I get sent books, because I'm like, how has this become just something that happens to me sometimes? Because there is some really good books in here that I'm so excited to read, and I feel like because I have not been reading that much the past month just due to travel and being ill and just having so much on, this book mail has put me right back into my like reading zone, and I've been reading so much this past week, so I'm very excited. So let's get into it. First up, I was contacted on Instagram by Gill Books, Gill Books. They're a publishing company in Ireland, and they wanted to put me on their YA PR list, which I was ecstatic about, because if you know me, you know I love a good YA thriller. So first up, they sent me Something Terrible Happened Last Night, and this is the proof copy. This book is by Sam Blake, and just 2 days ago in the post they actually sent me the finished copy as well. So I have the proof and the finished, which I'm actually starting reading today as a buddy read with my friend Molly. So if you see this, Molly, I'm so excited to read this with you. And yeah, I'm just going to keep both copies to take my review picture, and then I absolutely will pass on one of the copies to a friend, because, you know, needing 2 copies of a book can sometimes be excessive unless I absolutely love it, but I try not to. I try not to do that because I don't have any space. And I always struggle to be like, which one do I hold on to, the proof or like the one with the actual cover? So let me know in the comments when I finish reading this, which one should I keep and which one should I pass on to a friend. But this sounds really, really fun. It is about a girl called Katie who decides to throw like a rager party for her 17th birthday, and basically it gets out of control and everybody gets sent home. Then the next day, when her and her friends decide to do like a quick cleanup before her parents come home, amongst the broken bottles that are all over the floor, they find somebody laying dead, and the mystery ensues from there. So if there's anything I love, is just those gossipy, like high schooly, puberty, young adult thrillers. And sometimes I'm like so pleasantly surprised. I don't know if pleasantly is the right word to use there, but I'm always so surprised by how dark they actually are for YAs. So I'm very excited to read this one. So thank you so much, Gill Books, for sending this out to me. When I tell you I squealed when I opened this parcel, I'm not even lying. So sometime before Christmas, I managed to be lucky enough to get put on Penguin Ireland's PR list. I've not received like too much from them yet, so when I saw people on their stories starting to receive this book, I was like, oh, I would like to get that. But I was just like, if it's meant to be, it'll be. And lo and behold, that same day my postman came. This is Emily Henry's brand new book, Happy Place, which, when I tell you that like this is the book that has me so excited, I literally just want to pick this up. So I'm definitely going to be reading this soon. I've had this on my wish list, like ready to grab it, and I was absolutely gobsmacked that I was actually sent this by Penguin. So thank you so much, Penguin Ireland. And I hope if anybody's watching this that this like doesn't come across like braggy at all, because that's not at all what I want to do. I am literally gobsmacked that I was sent this amount of books, and this is not like the usual for me. These are like accumulated over 2 months, but normally even within 2 months I wouldn't receive this many books. So to get an Emily Henry book, just, I'm lost for words. I'm just literally lost for words. So this one sounds like it's about a couple who are happy together but then break up and don't tell anybody that they've broken up, and obviously have to go through all that, and things are obviously a bit turmoil. And I'm assuming, because it's a romance book, they're obviously going to find their way back together. So that sounds quite nice. I don't even know what kind of like category or trope that fits under, where it's like, we're in love, now we're broken up, but we're destined to be together. Destined to be together maybe. But yeah, super excited for this one. Next up is actually quite a summery looking thriller, which is exciting. I got sent Breaking by Amanda Cassidy, and Century Books really kindly sent this out to me, and it sounded right up my street. It's about a family from Ireland who go on holidays, and whilst they're on holidays their adopted daughter goes missing and like their whole world is turned upside down. So I was actually just trying to see, is Amanda Cassidy Irish, since their family are being sent from Ireland on holidays? But I'm not sure, I'm gonna have to look this up after the video. But yeah, just sounds like your perfect abduction summer thriller, which, like, it sounds really weird because that's like anybody's worst nightmare in real life, which I suppose the plot to any thriller would be, but child abduction thrillers always get my heart racing so much more. So the fact that this is set on a beachy holiday in the summertime, and it's obviously going to be quite a thrilling ride, I'm very excited. Drink every time I say I'm so excited for a book, because these next two books I got sent are from Tandem. I was really lucky to be accepted as one of Tandem's TikTok thriller ambassadors. They really kindly send me out books from time to time, just for me to add to my list or to promote on TikTok, which is super exciting. So first of all, they sent me Nikki French's book, The Favour, and this is the hardback version. It's super pretty. I really enjoy like the cozy, rainy cover on this one. But this one seems to be about a girl who like has somebody turn up on her doorstep from her past, and she decides to let them in and take them in, and obviously when she takes them in, secrets become uncovered, and she realises that letting this person back into her life could quite literally threaten her life. And there's a little thing inside the blurb that says the new keep you up all night suspense thriller, and I feel like that is quite a statement to make, so we'll have to see if this lives up to those expectations. Next one is one that Tandem were promoting, and I was quite surprised to get this because it's not a thriller, but it's bloody huge. This is a chunky book, and that is Homecoming by Kate Morton. This is more of a like contemporary fiction. I think someone's in the shower now. I apologise. I am moving out soon, so I will have my own space without all these disruptions. But yeah, this just sounds like a kind of a warming, like probably emotional journey contemporary fiction. It starts on Christmas Eve. The blurb is quite long, so I won't go into full detail of what it's about, but it's a chunky boy, and I am actually very excited to read this one. I'm definitely going to have to set some time aside, because anybody else like super intimidated by really large books? How many pages is this? Okay, it's 631, which is actually not as bad as I was expecting, because it looks so much bigger, but maybe that's because it's a hardback. But yeah, I'm gonna have to stop letting my big book intimidation take over my life and just give in and read them. So maybe this one will be my challenge for this year. Next up, actually, I probably should have put these like more organized together with the publishing brand, but I didn't. So here we are. This one is also from Century, which is so cool. I bloody love this cover. It's called Inkblood Sister Scribe, and it is by Emma Torres. Sounds all things like witchy and magical and just, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't even know. But the blurb says that it's about books. So it's about this person who has a collection of rare and dangerous like magic books. There's books that let people walk through walls, books that let you borrow somebody else's face, and there's books like the one that killed Esther and Joanna's dad. So in this, I'm gathering they obviously kind of have to figure out why the book killed her dad, etc. But yeah, lots of magical elements, like two sisters solving something together, using like their powers and their brains to unsolve stuff. It just sounds like a bit of me. I feel like I don't read enough books that are like just magical as opposed to being pure fantasy. So I have a strong feeling this might be a 5-star read for me. You know, when you just have like a premonition, I could be wrong, but I will let you know when I read it. I recently had Viper Books also reach out to me, which was super exciting, and they messaged me wanting to know if I would like a copy of Tina Baker's new book. This is Make Me Clean. This is Tina's brand new book and I'm so excited. If you watched my last video where authors recommended me books to read, Tina was in that video. Tina is literally an icon, so I'm super excited to read her new book. This is obviously a thriller, if you couldn't tell from the bloodied sink in the cover. So this is about a cleaner who takes her job very seriously, to the point that if people are bothering her clients, she seems to kill them for her. So that's obviously what we're going into. I've seen nothing but good reviews of this so far, and I have very high hopes myself that I know Tina's going to live up to. So I'm very excited, and I hadn't realised when Viper Books were sending this out that Tina wrote in it herself. She said lots of love, Tina B, and then put her little fingerprints down here. But yeah, this one, it's going to be a good one. I'm 100% going to be picking this up throughout the summer sometime, so stay tuned for my review of that. Okay, we're on to the last two books in this section of the haul, and then we'll be going on to my birthday haul. But I'll try to get through these as quick as possible. Next up, from Penguin Ireland, I was sent Love in the Time of Serial Killers. I'm obsessed with this cover. Obsessed. The illustrations, the little like creepy book, her like black fingernails. Obsessed. Obsessed. Do I even know much about this book? Not really, but it sounds like it's a bit of me. Like it looks love story-ish, but also serial killers. So it's about our main character who is obsessed with true crime, which I can relate to because I am also obsessed with true crime. And through her obsession with this, she becomes convinced that her next door neighbour is a serial killer. But in the process of trying to figure out if her neighbour is actually a serial killer, she might start to see traits in him that she actually kind of likes. So she's kind of fallen in love with him, but also kind of suspecting him to be a serial killer. So that sounds like kind of a tricky situation. I'm very intrigued to read this one. Let me know in the comments as well if you have read this one, because I've actually not heard much about this one, surprisingly, considering I feel like that's a cover that just should be popular. But yeah, excited to give it a go and see what it's about. And then lastly, the last book that I was really kindly sent was from Scribner at Simon & Schuster, and that was All About Evie by Matson Taylor. And this is another cute romance book to add to my little romance collection that I seem to be building this past 2 months. I think this is supposed to be just like an uplifting, feel-good, relatable kind of novel. But yeah, this sounds really lovely. Like the little thing on the front says it's an absolute ray of sunshine, which is always good. And again, something light-hearted for the summer months is just something I'm really craving. But how cute is this cover as well, with like the little beagle on the top and she's just scooting along on her chair. I'm such a sucker for an illustrated cover. Yeah, so thankful to each and every publishing house that has reached out to me and sent me those books. You have honestly made me the happiest girl ever, and I just don't have enough words to say thank you. Then speaking of thank yous, my Bookstub pals really came through for my birthday. I was not expecting this at all. I feel like my boyfriend and my family and friends have got to the point where they don't even buy me books anymore because they're like, you clearly don't have anywhere to put them. I'm not going to buy you anymore. But my Bookstub pals, they have my back. First up, my beautiful friend Robin really kindly sent me If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. That cover is a bit grim, isn't it? Like, I don't think I realised when I looked at the pictures and added this to my wishlist that this was a dead bird. But I mean, it is a thriller, so I'm pretty sure this is about a man who has served some time in prison for something that he didn't actually do, and the story starts from when he gets out of prison, but I don't actually know much more from then. But I know there's a little comparison on the front saying if you like A Secret History, that it's a sparkling debut richly layered with love, friendship and obsession. So I think this is one of those kind of like,
I don't know what you mean by
Siri, go away. As I was saying, I don't necessarily think this is like a dark thriller, but I do think it is a story that is told in a thrilling way. Thank you so much, Robin. I'm so excited to read this. Next up is from one of my OG day one Bookstagram pals, which is my friend Shannon Wing. And she sent me a birthday gift, but also sent me a book that I won in a little competition that she was hosting in March. So I have both of these here, and when I tell you Shannon picks just such good books off my wish list every freaking time, I'm so excited. So first up is the one that I was really lucky to win in a competition that she was holding, and as my prize she chose this one from my wish list. So this is All the Dangerous Things by Stacey Willingham. Shannon always picks me books off my wish list that I know she wants me to read, like ASAP, and she knows a good thriller when she reads one. So I actually have this book, and I have Stacey Willingham's other book, A Flicker in the Dark. I have that, and I really want to read that soon too. So this one is actually a really nice size. It's not too big, it's not too small, and this is a beautiful hardback edition. So I cannot wait to read that. I've heard that she writes a really sinister dark thriller, and that's a bit of me. And then for my birthday, speaking of sinister dark thriller writers, she picked me up A Looking Glass Sound, which is by Katrina Ward, who is the writer of Sundial and The Last House on Needless Street, which I just finished, by the way, so I will definitely be doing a review of that on here soon. But in my last video as well, where authors recommend me books, Tina was recommending me this book, and I didn't actually have it, which is why I picked up The Last House on Needless Street first. So I think I'll need to pick this one up soon, because Shannon clearly wants me to read it, but so does Tina Baker, so it would be rude of me not to. Again, this is just a really atmospheric dark thriller, and Katrina Ward's thrillers I feel like always border on horror as well, which is just, I love it. So I'm very excited. Next up, my friend Liv sent me Icebreaker. I feel like this has just been blowing up on TikTok and Instagram, and it has the cutest little like innocent cover ever for what I have heard is a very, very spicy book. This is like a sports hockey romance as far as I know, and to be honest, I've not really seen any bad reviews for this. It's all been really good. So this, again, which you'll see in a second, definitely fits in my little romance theme I'm fitting soon. And I actually was looking to pick this one up in the works for myself. So I was so happy when I saw it come in the post from Liv. So thank you so much, Liv. I'm so excited to read this one. If you've read it in the comments, please let me know if you liked it or not, because I feel like I've seen this everywhere. It's been like the current like viral romance book that everyone's hyping on about, so I do love a good hype book, so let's see. Then my friend Kay, who has her birthday literally the day after mine, really kindly sent me Wrangle Stone, which I'm so excited about. I actually recently had just downloaded the audiobook for this, and I started listening to it and I was like, this is really good, but I kind of want to actually physically read this, because since I finished The Last of Us, I have been craving like reading something similar, so something kind of end of world, like apocalyptic, virusy, zombie, whatever you like to call it. And I really liked, what was the other one? All We Left Behind, which I think was yeah, that was kind of like a virusy end of the world situation, and it was a queer romance and I loved it. So when I knew I wanted to read this, I added it to my wish list straight away. And yeah, this is a queer zombie story. I just feel like the way I'm speaking about these things really shows how broad my reading taste is, because honestly the amount of things that get me so excited is just crazy. But yeah, how beautiful is this cover though as well? I feel like there's a theme going along this haul as well of how beautiful the covers are, so super excited. The next up, my other friend Shan spoiled me and gave me 3 novels for my birthday, which is just, you did not need to do that, but I am so thankful for you, and I'm so excited because again, my romance little moody thing that I'm in at the moment, picking up romance books, you fed my little obsession. So first, Shan picked up A Faux Love Story, again, a cute, illustrated, beautiful cover. All's fair in love and war and noodles. Love to hear it. But this looks really cute. To be fair, I don't think I know a whole lot about this. It's just another one of those books that I've seen floating around. I'm like, the cover's really cute. It's just a light-hearted romance. The perfect in-between books for when I'm reading my dark thrillers. As well as The X-Talk, which I've had this on my Amazon wishlist since like I started my book page, which is quite a long time ago. So I was actually so excited. I feel like I don't know how I haven't picked this one up over the past 2 years, and I feel like Shan picking it up for me has been like you need to read this like ASAP. This one is kind of described more as like a feminist rom-com, but I'm here for that. It sounds cute, it sounds feminist, I'm here for that. Love it. And lastly, since we are thriller girls at heart, she picked me up Good Girls Die First, which is a YA thriller. I know Shan has this on her shelf herself, so I feel like she absolutely got me this so we can buddy read it, which I'm so down for. I do have this author's other book. I can't think of what that one's called now, but they have these beautiful, like, colourful, blood dripping spines, and I just love it. Like, this one I'm pretty sure is about someone being blackmailed, and it's like a murder mystery, and you just can't go wrong. So I'm really looking forward to potentially buddy reading this with Shan very soon. But lastly, my friend Molly over on Booksta as well really kindly sent me The Burning Girls by CJ Tudor, which I know she absolutely loved. She also has a YouTube channel on here, so I'm gonna give her a little plug because you should absolutely go and follow her. Her name on there, I think, is the same as Instagram, which is Romantically Reading, so you need to go check her channel out. She is great. I love her to bits. But I know that she absolutely loved this book, and I've honestly heard nothing but good things. It sounds like it's a very horror thriller almost, like kind of like paranormally, and it sounds like a bit of me, and I'm very excited to read it. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you've read any of these books, or loved any of these books, or disliked any of these books. I'm open to all opinions. And what ones you think I should bump up to the top of my TBR and read soon. But yeah, I have received quite a lot of books in the last 2 months, and again, I'm just incredibly thankful, and it was super fun to sit down and go through them all and do a haul, and I'm so excited that when I finish filming this I can go and like put them away and find them their new little spaces on my shelves so that they have a new little home that I can look at them. But yeah, like, let me know what you'd like to see soon, like what videos have you been loving at the moment. I actually haven't even been watching much YouTube, so I'm gonna go when I'm done this as well and catch up on all of your lovely YouTube videos. I'll leave that there. That's my big fuck off haul. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you for the next one.